Welcome to my next episode of New App Store Games Episode 3. This is a weekly show where I go through the best new App Store games that feature no ads or pay-to-win mechanics. This week we just have some great gems for iPhone and iPad. Sorry, Apple TV and Mac gamers, there was nothing. Also, at the end of the video, I'll update you on an amazing, free, upcoming game, which is out now in early access for select countries. Number 1 is the House of Da Vinci 2. Yes, yes, and yes. Blue Brain Games have finally released the sequel to a great 3D puzzle adventure, the House of Da Vinci. It's a massive step up from the original game too. We have a longer story, superior graphics, better touchscreen controls, more brain-twisting puzzles, and the voice acting is actually really decent. I can tell the developers put a lot of time into the world here, and not only that, but to get the game to be playable on mobile devices is quite impressive in my eyes. Anyway, the game follows Giacomo, the apprentice to the iconic Leonardo da Vinci. If you haven't heard of this game, it kind of plays like the game Myst, but this one also mixes in cinematic cutscenes, and it's awesome. Plus, you can time travel to reveal secrets and solve puzzles in the environments. The pacing of the game is quite slow, so some might find it a tad boring, but I'm really into this type of game, so I didn't really notice, I didn't really care. If you're interested in the game, the House of Da Vinci 2 goes for $4.99 USD on the App Store.
There is one more thing. As a soldier, I am accustomed to almost any hardship, but Messere Leonardo is, after all, a man of considerable delicacy and refinement. Before you meet him, you should not forgo a thorough bath and change of clothing.
Number 2, we have Farming Simulator 20. Up to this point, I haven't really enjoyed the mobile versions of Farming Simulator. They were kind of, dumbed down versions. But finally, we have almost the same experience. Almost. One major thing that is still missing is the ability to walk around outside of vehicles. Despite this, the graphics have been vastly upgraded, and we now have a cockpit view. Also, FM20 on iPhone or iPad still brings you the North American environment, new farming activities, machinery, and crops. The usual yearly updates, I suppose. So if you've been wanting to play this game on mobile but you've been kind of disappointed, I think this is the best version yet, and many will be happy with what it offers. Just don't go into it expecting the exact same experience as the PC or console version. Maybe in a few years or next year it will be on par, I don't know. Still, it's really fun, and it's just a classic simulation game where you can do anything farming related. The game goes for $5.99 USD on the App Store. Number 3 is Necrosphere. Originally released on PC and console back in 2017, Doublethink Games have randomly dropped this incredibly difficult platformer to iPhone and iPads. It's such a unique game, and I really do mean that. For example, you can only move left and right. You can't actually jump like in other platformers. It is so difficult. In fact, I could not even pass the second level. I was stuck at one point for literally 30 minutes. But there is just something about the gameplay that makes you never give up until you get past a certain point. It could be compared to Super Meat Boy, but I would go as far to say it's more challenging. Anyway, Necrosphere costs $2.99 USD on the App Store. There is only 2.5 hours of gameplay, but you will be tested like you never imagined. Also, big thanks to Doublethink Games for providing a review copy. You have no idea how much it helps. Number 4, we have Space Grunts 2. I believe Space Grunts 2, which is a roguelike card game, was in early access until this week, I think. When you play this game, every time you engage in combat and interactions, the game utilizes a card, battle, and inventory system. It's kind of cool and keeps things fresh. You land on a planet and will fight aliens, robots, and must avoid hazardous environments. Each level features procedurally generated environments and enemies, so the gameplay is always different. I really like the art direction too, if I may say. It gives me a retro vibe mixed with modern animations from the enemies and fauna and the sound effects from attacking to big explosions. Love it, it's a satisfying experience. The gameplay can be a little slow depending on how you play, but don't just rush into it. It's important to take your time and collect all the resources in each level. Space Grunts is $3.99 USD on the App Store. Number 5, we have Terraforming Mars. Originally released in early access in, I believe, mid-2019, Terraforming Mars is now a full release game. Asmodee Digital have brought the famous board game into a digital game medium, and it has been adapted for touchscreen really well. You will play against the computer or other players in the multiplayer mode. You can place your cards on the board and will try to create life on Mars. Just note, there is no multiplayer cross-platform between the PC version. You can only go up against players on iPhone and iPad. This is a pity, and it would be great to see if this cross-play support can happen in the future, but who knows. Terraforming Mars will set you back $8.99 USD on the App Store. If you like strategy games or even board games, you should have a look at this one. Maybe you'll love it, maybe you'll hate it. I don't know. And here is that bonus free game, Pico Tanks. This free-to-play tank game isn't releasing globally until early 2020, but if you're in Australia, New Zealand or the Philippines, Panda Arcade have brought the game to the App Store as an early access game. I wasn't sure if I was going to talk about this game yet, but I thought some of you would be interested to see what it's actually all about. Pico Tanks features fast-paced 3 vs 3 tank battles, with a big focus on teamwork. You can customize your tank quite extensively here. You can use different power-ups and weapons, and you can go into different multiplayer modes, such as hold the flag and fetch the cargo. Now, it's free and has optional in-app purchases for some items using real money, but at no point does it interrupt gameplay or give you an advantage in battles, based on what I've played so far. The game also supports controllers, but it's limited to gameplay only. It won't work for menu interaction. It's a really pretty game. I love the art style and animations. I think it might become one of the most popular free games on the App Store next year. Have you played any of these new games? Maybe you've been playing something else this week. Let me know in the comments. Also, leaving a like is super helpful, as it means the YouTube algorithm will favor my video more. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss out on new App Store games each week. Anyway, thanks for watching.